Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy?
What are you holding there?
I'm holding my package.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
I'm not part of the go along to get along gang, so to speak. So, I'm an outsider. And so, I'm not part of the club.
So, I have been posting my thoughts and my stance on this.
Ellen DeGeneres defending Diddy while his world was collapsing wasn't just surprising, it was calculated. And Ice Cube, he's been warning us about exactly this kind of thing for years. What's happening right now isn't random, it's a pattern. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Look, when Ellen came out publicly supporting Diddy, the internet stopped scrolling. Not because anyone was shocked that celebrities support each other, but because of the timing. Diddy's name was already dominating every headline. Allegations piling up, legal pressure mounting, and right in the middle of all that chaos, Ellen decides to speak up in his favor. For a lot of people watching, this wasn't about loyalty. It was about what that support actually meant. Old alliances, old industry relationships, old jokes that suddenly didn't sound so funny anymore. All of it resurfacing at the exact moment when Diddy's carefully crafted public image was falling apart.
All right, we're back with Sean Diddy Combs. Is it Diddy today? Because sometimes you're Puffy and sometimes you're Diddy. Or sometimes you're Daddy. What are you today?
I'm so confused today with it. As long as you say it in a nice way.
All right.
Just like,
Yeah.
And here's where it gets interesting. At the same time all this was happening, Ice Cube's past warnings about Hollywood started circulating again. And people weren't just watching those old clips for nostalgia, they were watching them with completely different eyes.
Where are you going after this? It's all 20s. Where are you going after this? What are you doing?
you know what we doing, we plan to do, girl.
Ellen and Diddy go way back. We're talking years of public appearances, parties, in the same circles for a long time. Diddy appeared on the Ellen show multiple times over the years. They joked around, they laughed. And yeah, Diddy even tried to get Ellen to come to his legendary parties. In one clip that's resurfaced, Diddy's literally on Ellen's show talking about his after parties, and Ellen's making excuses about why she can't attend. The distance, the time zones, the taping schedule. All very reasonable explanations. But Diddy wasn't taking no for an answer. Even offered to throw a party on the West Coast just for her. The whole exchange seemed lighthearted at the time. Just two celebrities doing celebrity things.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties, you just haven't seemed to show up to
No,
any
well,
of them.
is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that?
Ellen tweets out a birthday message to Diddy. And this is where things get weird. She doesn't just call him by his government name or his stage names. She adds her own special nickname, Cuddle McSnugglestuff. Yeah, you heard that right. Now, when that tweet first came out, people thought it was just Ellen being Ellen. Quirky, playful, a little random. But in 2024, after everything that's come to light about Diddy's parties and what allegedly went down behind closed doors, that nickname hits different. Social media went crazy when that old tweet resurfaced. People weren't laughing anymore, they were asking questions. What kind of relationship do you have with someone to give them a nickname like that? How close were they really? And most importantly, what did Ellen actually know? The speculation intensified when videos of Diddy talking about his freak-off parties started making the rounds. These weren't just regular celebrity gatherings. According to multiple allegations and federal indictments, these parties involved some seriously dark behavior, coercion, manipulation, alleged abuse that went on for years. And all those mainstream platforms that treated Diddy's party lifestyle as harmless celebrity culture, they're being re-examined too. Clips that once played for laughs now feel disturbing. What was normalized as just Diddy being Diddy suddenly looks a lot more sinister. Ellen's name kept coming up in these discussions. Not because there's any proven involvement in Diddy's alleged crimes, let's be clear about that, but because of proximity, because of access, because when you're repeatedly in the same spaces, on the same platforms, within the same elite circles, people naturally start connecting dots. And then Ellen left. Right as Diddy's legal problems were escalating, Ellen and her wife Portia de Rossi packed up and moved to the UK. Specifically, they relocated to the Cotswolds countryside in England. Beautiful area, quiet, peaceful, very far from Hollywood. Now, officially, Ellen said the move was because of Donald Trump's 2024 election victory. She confirmed this herself in July 2025 during a conversation at Cheltenham's Everyman Theatre. According to Ellen, she and Portia arrived in the UK the day before the election, woke up to crying emoji texts from friends, and decided to stay permanently. Everything here is just better, Ellen said. The way animals are treated, people are polite. I just love it here. Totally reasonable explanation, right? Plenty of people talked about leaving the country after the election. Most didn't actually do it, but Ellen did. Here's the thing though, the timing raised eyebrows. Diddy was arrested in September 2024 on federal charges including sex trafficking and racketeering. Ellen's permanent move to the UK happened shortly after, November 2024 to be exact. Some people see this as just a coincidence, a personal decision made for political reasons after years of controversy and public pressure. Ellen had already dealt with her own scandal involving allegations of a toxic work environment on her show. Maybe she just wanted out of the spotlight entirely.
As you may have heard, this summer there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show. And then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened. I take that very seriously, and I want to say I am so sorry to the people who were affected. I know that I'm in a position of privilege and power, and I realize that with that comes responsibility, and I take responsibility for what happens at my show.
But others? They see the timing as suspicious. No official explanation has connected Ellen's move to anything involving Diddy. But online speculation hasn't slowed down. People are asking why now? Why so suddenly? Why so permanently? Actually, here's an update. Recent reports in late 2025 suggest Ellen and Portia might be planning to return to California. Apparently, they're not handling the British winters well, and they miss their friends. They even reportedly bought a massive Montecito mansion for $27 million in November 2025. So the permanent UK move might not be so permanent after all. But that initial departure, the timing of it, that's what people remember. Now, let's talk about Ice Cube, because this is where everything starts connecting. Ice Cube has been talking about Hollywood's power structure for years, not in vague terms, in very specific, very direct language. According to him, the entertainment industry isn't just about talent. It's about gatekeeping, it's about silence, it's about who's willing to play along and who isn't. In June 2023, Ice Cube posted a video that went viral. He looked directly into the camera and said something that made a lot of people uncomfortable. Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club, and a lot of you listening to me right now, you're not part of the club either. He continued, "What I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are." Cube was specifically talking about his Big Three basketball league and how the NBA was allegedly working against him. But his message went way deeper than sports. He was talking about how Hollywood operates, how the entire system is built on control, leverage, and silence. According to Ice Cube, speaking out doesn't usually result in loud public retaliation. Instead, it looks like opportunities quietly disappearing, phone calls that stop getting returned, invitations that never arrive, former allies who suddenly keep their distance. He announced he was going on what he called a Fuck the Gatekeepers podcast tour. And he delivered. Ice Cube did interviews with Bill Maher, Joe Rogan, and others where he laid out exactly what he's been seeing for decades.
You know, I tried to go on The View. They didn't have me on The View.
Why?
Well, a few of the guests just really didn't like where I was coming from. So, or a few of the hosts, I mean. So that's what I was told by the producers. You know, I don't know if the producers was just copping out and using some of the hosts to not have me come on and explain myself, but
You'd be a good booking for them.
I've been on there before.
Yeah.
You know, it's just when I've became an independent thinker, when I've, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't follow their brand of politics, I guess.
One of the things he talked about was his contract with Black America that he put out before the 2020 presidential election. After releasing it, Cube said he faced backlash and industry pushback. He claims that ever since that contract came out, certain doors have been closed to him. But here's what makes Ice Cube's perspective so relevant to the Diddy situation. He's been saying for years that empowerment in Hollywood is often just branding, that real power stays tightly controlled at the top, that the moment you challenge that system, you get pushed out.
You're hearing Diddy everywhere, okay?
Yeah.
So, did you ever have any kind of run-in with Diddy? Did you ever do anything with Diddy? Any projects you worked on with him?
Yeah, he's produced a few records, or had his producers do a few records on my War and Peace album, the Peace Disc. Yeah.
How was he to work with?
It was cool. He gave us great music. We flew out to New York, and I was mainly in the studio with the producer. He had a stable of producers, so I was in the studio with his stable of producers, and I think we did some great music. And I really kind of lost contact with him and really stopped dealing with Puffy around 94.
Yeah. Any specific reason?
Yeah, they was doing their thing, I was doing mine. And I'm not the partying type. You know what I mean? I ain't never been to a Diddy party. I ain't never really wanted to go, but I don't go to a lot of people parties. That just ain't what I'm in it for. You've been to one, you've been to them all.
Are you surprised at what things are coming out with Diddy at all, or you're like, you have no idea? It's none of my business. You'll live long. Is that kind of like the mindset?
I'm surprised. How could you be surprised with anything that happens in hip hop? It's hip hop is the Wild West. So you're gonna have the good, you're gonna have the bad, you're gonna have the ugly.
You think he's being targeted, or some of the stuff he's got, there's credibility on what they're coming after him with the tapes and the feds and raiding his Miami home, his LA home?
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah. I believe, somebody, has the power to pull the trigger to make, this stuff, this domino effect happen.
Diddy's downfall fits exactly into this framework. One moment he was untouchable, massive wealth, enormous influence, industry legend. The next moment, he's facing federal charges, and everyone who was once in his circle is suddenly acting like they barely knew him. Ice Cube has also specifically mentioned figures like Oprah and Jay-Z as part of this elite media ecosystem, not with specific allegations, but pointing out how certain people seem immune to scrutiny while others get destroyed for far less. And when it comes to Ellen specifically, Cube hasn't called her out by name in the Diddy context, but his broader point about Hollywood gatekeepers, silence, and who gets protected versus who gets exposed, that applies here too. We need to talk about Stephen Twitch Boss, because his death has become part of this wider conversation, whether fairly or not. Twitch was Ellen's DJ and co-executive producer on the Ellen DeGeneres show from 2014 until the show ended in May 2022. He was beloved, positive energy, always smiling, the kind of person everyone seemed to genuinely like. On December 13th, 2022, Twitch was found dead at a hotel in Encino, California. His death was ruled a suicide. He was 40 years old. The tragedy devastated everyone who knew him. Ellen posted a heartfelt tribute calling him pure love and light and saying he was family to her. His wife, Allison Holker, released a statement saying he was the backbone of their family.
Hey, everybody. Everyone is in pain and trying to make sense of it, and we'll never make sense of it. And the holidays are hard, I think, anyway. But to honor Twitch, I think the best thing that we can do is to laugh and hug each other and play games and dance.
In early 2025, Allison published a book called This Far, My Story of Love, Loss, and Embracing the Light, where she opened up about Twitch's death. She mentioned that after the Ellen show ended, Twitch's routine changed. He had more time to spend inside his head. She wrote about potentially missing signs of depression, irritability, insomnia, weight loss, lack of energy. Now here's where internet speculation gets dark. Some people online have started connecting Twitch's death to broader theories about Hollywood pressure, silence, and control. Not based on evidence, not based on official findings, but based on pattern recognition and suspicion. There are viral videos claiming Twitch left behind recordings that implicate Ellen or others in Hollywood. These claims are completely unverified. Fact checkers like Snopes have debunked many of these videos as AI-generated fiction designed to get clicks. There's zero evidence linking Twitch's death to anything involving Diddy, Ellen, or any broader conspiracy. Official investigations found no such connections. His family has asked for privacy and respect. But the fact that these theories persist tells you something about public perception right now. People don't trust the official narrative anymore. They see patterns of powerful people protecting each other. They remember how long it took for Diddy's behavior to face consequences despite years of rumors. And they wonder what else isn't being talked about. Twitch's death was a genuine tragedy, a reminder of how mental health struggles can be invisible even to those closest to someone. It shouldn't be turned into conspiracy fodder. But it's being pulled into this conversation anyway because of how intensely people are questioning everything about Hollywood's power structure right now. So let's step back and look at the bigger picture. What's really happening here? Diddy's downfall isn't just about one person facing overdue accountability. It's exposing how an entire system operates, how behavior gets normalized when you have enough power, how people in the industry see things, know things, but stay quiet because speaking up comes with consequences. Ellen's connection to Diddy isn't unique. Dozens of celebrities appeared at his parties or spoke positively about him over the years. LeBron James famously said, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party," in a resurfaced clip. Leonardo DiCaprio attended some of Diddy's events in the early 2000s, though sources close to him insist they were just regular house parties, not the alleged freak-offs. But Ellen's situation feels different because of everything else. The toxic workplace allegations from her own show. The timing of her move to the UK. That Cuddle McSnuggle stuff tweet. The way she stayed mostly silent as Diddy's situation has unfolded. Ice Cube's warnings about gatekeepers and silence feel prophetic now. He said the industry protects its own until it doesn't. He said powerful people rise together, protect each other in silence, and when one falls, everyone suddenly pretends they were never that close. That's exactly what we're watching play out. The documentaries are coming, the lawsuits are piling up, cease and desist claims are flying, media appearances are being carefully managed. This isn't just about truth anymore, it's about narrative control. It's about who gets to tell the story and how it'll be remembered.
Lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs trying to stop the release of a Netflix docuseries due out today.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business.
The series contains never-before-seen footage of Combs debating strategy with his lawyers in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last year.
I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution.
It also includes video of Combs greeting fans in Harlem.
Off my back, bro. Long as you win, I'm gonna win. Long as you win, we win it. I'll accept it.
And then saying this about the interaction moments later.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with. Like that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs.
Now Combs' lawyers are demanding Netflix pull the series, threatening legal action, claiming Netflix is using stolen footage that was never authorized for release as part of what they call a shameful hit piece. The series is executive produced by Combs' longtime rival, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and director Alex Stapleton, who said, quote, "We obtained the footage legally and have the necessary rights," end quote. Before the cease and desist demand was sent yesterday, Stapleton and Jackson sat down with our Robin Roberts to discuss the series.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
It's not personal.
The show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. Not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this.
Combs is serving 4 years in prison on prostitution.
For years, Diddy's parties were joked about on mainstream television, treated as part of celebrity culture. Now those same clips are being analyzed frame by frame. What once sounded like harmless humor is being replayed with a completely different tone. People online aren't just asking whether powerful figures knew what was happening around Diddy anymore. They're asking how much was known, who benefited from silence, and why nobody with a platform challenged it when they had the chance. Powerful figures protect each other. Silence is rewarded, questioning is punished, narratives are carefully managed from the top down, and when someone finally falls, everyone acts shocked even though the warning signs were there for years. The jokes, the platforms, the quiet approval, all of it happened in plain sight. Ellen isn't accused of anything criminal, let's be absolutely clear about that. But her proximity to Diddy combined with her own past controversies and the timing of her departure from the US, has made her part of this larger conversation about Hollywood accountability. Ice Cube has been trying to tell us about this system for years. He's faced pushback for it. He's been labeled difficult, controversial, unwilling to play the game. But looking at what's happening with Diddy right now, Cube's warnings don't sound so crazy anymore. The entertainment industry thrives on image. Everything is managed. Everything is curated. Everything is designed to maintain the illusion. But moments like this force people to confront the possibility that what happens behind the scenes is far darker and far more calculated than whatever appears on camera. And that leaves one really uncomfortable question hanging in the air.
Who own the labels own the prisons.
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. The records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Some records are made by committee, meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. You have, the record company pushing the narrative. Some social engineering going on.
If this is what finally came to light about Diddy after decades in the industry, what never did? How many other situations are being protected right now? How many other powerful people have the same kind of network shielding them from consequences? How many more Ice Cube-style warnings are being ignored because challenging the system is too costly? We're watching the narrative battle play out in real time. Diddy's legal team is fighting back, supporters are attempting damage control, critics are pushing harder than ever. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle of all the noise. But one thing is becoming clear: the old rules about staying quiet and protecting the powerful, they're breaking down. Social media has changed the game, information spreads too fast, clips resurface too easily, pattern recognition happens too quickly. The club that Ice Cube talked about, the gatekeepers, they're losing control of the narrative, and they know it. Am I the only one who saw this coming? Tell me I'm not crazy. Because once you understand how the system works, you start seeing it everywhere. Drop your thoughts below. Do you think Ellen knew more than she's letting on? Was Ice Cube right about the gatekeepers all along? And what do you think happens next in the Diddy situation? If you think this story goes deeper than what we're being shown, let me know. Subscribe because these stories never end where they're supposed to.